I'm on the second floor of Alumni Hall at Colgate University. The room has 3 small round tables that each have 2 chairs. And I'm there because I've been chosen, hand-picked by Ben Opipari as one of Colgate's 15 Writing Center consultants. It's early in the spring semester, and so nobody has papers yet, which means that the Writing Center consultants, including me, get to chat while we work. And tonight, I'm talking with Lauren. Lauren is a senior, and we're talking about the question that everybody asks college seniors in the spring semester. What are you doing after you graduate? And yes, I have fallen prey to asking Lauren this question. She tells me that she's going to go to grad school. She doesn't sound super excited about it, and so I respond, cool. And then I find myself wondering, asking, what would it be like for me to be really excited about what I do after graduation? I'm a junior, so I don't quite know the answer to this yet, but I did just pass a flyer on my way into the Writing Center that night that shows a picture of a girl next to an elephant. And underneath it, it says, join us on Thursday to hear about what Brooke did after graduation. Elephants, wild places, not in the United States. This feels like more my speed. But that idea scares me a little bit, right? And the inner voice in my mind starts saying things like, yeah, Brooke did that, but that's probably not going to happen for you. As I'm thinking these thoughts, I hear a sound behind me. It's a computer chair that is twirling around, and I turn to see Devin, who's the 3rd Writing Center consultant there that night. Devin is slowly moving towards me on this wheeling computer chair. She's tall, she has long, straight brown hair and dark eyes. And when she looks at you, she really looks at you. And as Devin is weird Barbieing her way to me in that moment, she is really looking at me. It's like she's been overhearing my thoughts. She tilts her head to the side, furrows her brow quizzically, and says, someone out there is going to do all those things that you're dreaming of. Somebody, even if it's just one person, is going to go do it. Who says it shouldn't be you? Whew. She spins back around and goes back to whatever she has been doing. And I'm like, what just happened? Devin has just dropped the mic. And as I sit there speechless, I feel these words start to seep into my skin, and they travel right to my heart. Who says it shouldn't be you? Who says it shouldn't be you? These ethereal words find a permanent home in my body. It's 9 months later, and now I'm on the 30th floor of One Penn Plaza in New York City. It's the final day of my consulting internship. I'm about to meet with my manager, Eric. Eric with a K is tall, he has curly dark hair and a really kind face, and he and I have clicked over the summer. He's shown me what it's like to have a manager who actually cares about you. He's got daughters who are 4 years apart, just like me and my sister. He loves Italy, and we both went to school in upstate New York. I've even had dinner with his family this summer. And as I walk into Eric's office, I think I know how this is going to go. This is the moment that college interns are waiting for, when you get your job offer, potentially for the next year. So I walk into Eric's office, and he's there waiting for me with a piece of paper and a smile. And I'm like, yes, I have nailed this. And he extends the piece of paper to me as he says, Taylor, there is nothing that we would like more than to give you a spot, offer you a spot on our team after you graduate. And I take the paper from him, and I'm like, I did it. And then he continues. But if I'm really being honest with you, there's a part of me that hopes that you don't take it. Again, I'm like, what is happening right now? This is not what I was expecting in this moment. Eric has just nudged open a door that I thought I wedged shut. If I'm honest in this moment, deep down, I don't want that New York City consulting cubicle. At this point, there's a glimmer of an idea, and it involves teaching and Tanzania and traveling. This feels like a spark inside of me. But this idea, this spark, also makes me really nervous. First of all, what are my parents going to say about this? Could I even make this happen? And what happens if I never get another job offer ever again, other than this one that I'm getting right now? But then there's that voice. It's saying to me, someone, somewhere, is going to go teach in Tanzania next year. Who says that person shouldn't be you? A few months later, with a pounding heart, I call Eric. And I decline the job offer. And he says, good. The spark is lit. Now, I wish from this point forward, I could tell you all the rest of my decisions in my life went something like this. I stand on a rooftop and I say, who says it shouldn't be me? And then I win the lottery and we all travel the world for the rest of our lives. But it didn't go quite like that. And in fact, after I return home from Tanzania, I do find my way back into a New York City consulting cubicle. Years later, it's 2014, and my then boss invites me to a salon. Not the kind where you get your hair and nails done. This is the kind where really smart, accomplished people gather to have meaningful conversation. And I am all about it. She hosts these salons on a regular basis, and I've never gotten an invitation before. And although I'm being invited on the same night of the event, it makes it feel a little bit like an afterthought. I eagerly tell her, yes, I will be there. Just tell me when and where. And I show up that night outside of her New York City apartment. She greets me at the door, and when it swings open, the room is lit by this cozy candlelight. She has built-in bookshelves with books and artifacts from all over the place on them. There's a coffee table in her sunken living room, which is spilling over with these delicious-looking hors d'oeuvres. And the coffee table is surrounded by these pristine white linen couches. She introduces me to someone who's on the board of LVMH. And while I'm not aspiring to carry a Louis Vuitton bag, I instantly find this woman intimidating. She is a blonde bombshell. She's got this gorgeous flowing blonde hair. She has a bold red lip. She's got a gorgeous smile, and she is dripping head to toe in luxury. The night begins, and the host convenes the 12 of us in this group. She offers a question prompt that we're each invited to speak to with a personal story. Tonight, the prompt is about freedom. And LVMH is sitting next to me, to my left, and she kicks off the night with a story about her grandmother and about persecution in Europe and about beauty and luxury that has me completely rethinking my thoughts about that Louis Vuitton handbag of hers. After she finishes speaking, there's a natural break in the conversation, and it's time to grab an hors d'oeuvre. For some crazy reason, I reach down to that hors d'oeuvre table and I choose a mini San Marzano tomato from the crudité platter. Why I chose a mini San Marzano tomato, I will never know. Of all the options there, that's what I pick. And because it's too big to fit the whole thing in my mouth all at once, I try my best to take this dainty bite it in half. And as I do, time slows down as the seeds from this tomato fly out of the tomato, spray and land on the cream-colored white linen couch that I am sitting on. Oh, I am mortified in this moment. And my host, as gracefully as she can, looks at me and says, Oh, don't worry. I'm pretty sure that there's club soda in my liquor cabinet. And she's as horrified as I am that this has happened. We all know that that tomato stain doesn't just magically lift out of white linen. In that moment, if you had asked me, who says it shouldn't be you? I would say, that mini San Marzano tomato does. And so do all the eyes in this room. My spark has basically gone out. 7 years later, it's 2021, it's the middle of the pandemic, and I am laying in my bed, mindlessly scrolling Instagram at 1 a.m. when I stumble across Mama Gina. Mama Gina is curly, like me, and she's also in her mid-60s. She oozes confidence. This woman is the embodiment of joy and pleasure and freedom, and she practically jumps through my telephone to kiss me and say, "Who the fuck says it shouldn't be you?" I instantly love this woman. And although I don't normally do this, I sign up for her 8-week class on the spot. At the first class, I enter the Zoom room of Virtual Pleasure Boot Camp, and I find out that I will now be called a sister goddess. And there are 300 women of all shades from dozens of countries dancing in front of their Zoom cameras as Mama Gina, who is in lingerie, is boldly leading this tribe. I am in the corner of my bedroom wearing my pajamas as my 3- and 5-year-old daughters play on just the other side of the door, awkwardly shaking my hips to whatever song she is playing, desperately trying to feel even an ounce of what Mama Gina is feeling right now. I am a deer in headlights on this first call. But by the 4th call, I start bravely showing up alongside these 300 other women. We are sharing and witnessing truth together. Mama Gina is an expert facilitator. She somehow creates space for all 300 of us to feel like we are in community while we each feel individually seen. She even uses her intuition, her instinct, to figure out who might need to be called on that day. And she scrolls through all 300 faces to pick somebody who she thinks needs to be heard. Secretly, I start hoping that Mama Gina maybe would call on me. And then, in the 5th class, she does. She is scrolling through all those faces, and I get this feeling she is going to call on me. And then she does. She calls on me. And as I move my finger towards the unmute button on Zoom, I think to myself, I am not afraid of public speaking, and I literally don't know if a single word will come out of my mouth in this moment. I unmute, and miraculously, the words do come. I speak my truth. And then dozens of women in this Zoom chat say, "I feel you." I did not realize this at the time, but in that moment, my spark is bursting into a flame. This is what I am also meant to do: create spaces where people feel seen and validated and connected. But I want to do this in spaces that are professional workplaces, where I have long felt and seen this gap in belonging and shared humanity. My name is Taylor Buonocore Guthrie, and I am a facilitator. I own and lead the Connection Spark. A connection spark happens when there's this moment of insight or shared humanity between two people who are having a meaningful conversation. And over the last 3 years, I've facilitated for more than 300 professional teams, all around the world, from industries, from healthcare to hospitality, from media to tech. And what I now know is that there are 5 things that help create the connection spark. S. We have to show up. And showing up isn't just about being there in person. It's about being a little brave. P. P is about paying attention, not just to what's being said, but also what's not being said, so that we can A, ask better questions. Questions that are rooted in curiosity and a genuine care about the person that we're asking. R is for reveal the real you. You gotta do you. And K, keep showing up. If we can pay attention, ask better questions, and reveal the real us, it's much more likely that those connection sparks are gonna happen. Now, some of you out there might be feeling like you have a little whisper of a dream, something that you really wanna go do. Some of you have that whisper, and others of you might be hearing a roar. You might be sitting with the question, am I enough? You might be sitting with the question, do I really deserve this? Or could I actually make that happen? And so I want to pose a better question. Who says it shouldn't be you? Here's what I got to hear as I was walking around the room. And there's really no great way to capture this in words. You have to be able to walk between, but just imagine kind of weaving your way through these tables. And as you approach a table, like the sound of one person's voice gets traded for the next, right? It's like listening to an audio track where different voices kind of fade in and fade out. And these are some of the things that I just got to hear in the last 10 minutes. They really made me feel more connected to my family. No, you always put one more worm in the bag. That's a dozen. He spent a week in the garage, like he just figured it out. She knew I was smart. When she passed away, I thought, oh my God, like I just have to hang on to these memories of her. They showed me that there was another way to live. So much powerful stuff, right? Some of you heard exactly your words as I spoke out loud. I also hear that at least one person in this room sent a text to someone they haven't talked to for a while. They got a reply and they're gonna meet up with them later today. Yeah, amazing, right? And there might be more than one person in the room who has that experience, like over the rest of the course of today and even the rest of the course of this week. I always feel so excited watching a room like this. Like, who knows what gifts you've stumbled upon? I don't know how to measure that. I don't know how to capture it, but I do know that you've maybe connected with someone here that had an impact on you, that you've heard something today that reminded you of a value or something important to you, and you shared humanity with someone here at this table.